Hello everyone, good evening. Welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Teachings. Sorry for late video guys, I was just tied up with some family stuff. So there was not that I did personally, but overall was okay day. I mean, I expected much more because of the earning season. Didn't do much on the earning side. We will talk about the few earning plays we had and what we did with them. But something important to learn today was the 10 a.m. reversal. Again, I have discussed this concept many times. Those of you who have watched my other videos, that concept was, we'll talk about that reversal concept, 10 a.m. reversal concept, and we'll talk about how we shorted for the morning, how we were short on QQQ Nvidia, and then how we longed the reversal, right? How we longed the reversal. I longed Nvidia. I didn't catch the bottom, but it met our target. I'll show you the timestamp, the timestamps trade commentary. You will see, and we will also talk about how the levels matter, how the SPY right bounced off right the level from the level that I talk about or level that I did in pre-market, and we'll talk about Tesla reversal. They will talk about how we try to short Meta. It did not work, and we right away scratched it, and that went on to run huge. And then we'll discuss our BMW trade. Why was that long? What was the reasoning behind the long? And we will take a look at that. That was a decent winner. We'll talk about some the dollar stores and Dollar Tree, the entire sector of those cheap dollar stores, why they were strong and why they were running. Then we'll talk about a bunch of news plays that we had during the day. So yeah, we'll try to keep it short today, guys. Just want to focus on a couple of things importantly that I keep saying again and again. And if you followed my 10 a.m. and my VIX teachings, you probably did good, right? But if you did not, then you probably held your shorts too long or something, you got squeezed. So we'll talk about all that. We'll talk about in our system and we'll go through everything. So let's just go back, guys. I was very excited this morning, actually, to tell you the truth. I was excited because we had earnings on, we had earning on Bank of America, we had earning on Goldman Sachs, LMT. So I was excited, but we had a gap down, Nvidia news in the pre-market. So we had the gap down, and it kind of spoiled a lot of the earning plays already, right? So the personality we were stuck with for the market was the personality that we were stuck with was the gap down, right? And as I discussed on the voice, that it was either gap down bounce or gap down fade, what it is going to be. And soon enough we found out what it is going to be, and we'll talk about that reversal when it comes to that. So anyways, like every morning, today was up early, 45 minutes early, came to the desk. We discussed about our everyday daily wake up summary. So if you're waking up late, make a habit of coming up early so you're ready for the day, you know what setups are there and what to play. So anyway, so we were looking at the wake up summary of Goldman Sachs earnings, Bank of America, J&J, Lockheed Martin. We were looking at that. There's a bunch of news. Wyndham Hotels had a news that they had a hostile offer, and then from Choice Hotels. So we had those kind of news, and then we look at more pre-market news, guys. The reason I repeat in every video, because anybody new needs to understand that what our process is. So anyways, went through more news sources, more pre-market movers, then went through more pre-market movers, pre-market movers to make my list. Talking about that, I'm planning to do a webinar on my community on this, to go through the full pre-market prep, the levels and everything. So make sure to join. And I keep looking at more sources. I just want to make sure I know everything that is moving today in the pre-market. And then we created our levels. I really want you guys to look at this level, okay? Note this. So what is the SPY saying? Support pivot 432.5, 432.5. Remember this level, and check this out. What was the low of SPY today? 432.45, 4325, 432.45. Right from that support level, right? So the levels work, guys. And then it bounced from that level at 10 a.m. Then, rest is history for the day. So after that, guys, my watch list was ready. Our news players were J&J, Bank of America, G, Goldman Sachs, LMT, BK, VMW, WH, IBM, and TCT. And then you can see my dollar store upgrades, right? The dollar stores were on my watch list as well. And then the marketplace. And then the market indicators, which we use to see how the market is moving. Then our penny place. So the ones I played out of this was VMW today and WH. I showed it WH after the news came out. I'll talk about that later. Then VMW was my main plays. I did not touch any of the earning plays. I did not see any setup. I did scalp some dollar store trades. We'll talk about that. Then Nvidia was short and the bounce. I did personally more on the bounce side. And then there was a Tesla long, and then there was QQQ reversals. So we'll talk all about that. And semiconductors were all semiconductors were on the watch list. So I create all the sectors separately. So I have, all the AMD, AVGO, Nvidia, all the semiconductors, because of the news about Nvidia out of the pre-market. We had that news. So what was the plan today, guys? The plan was again simple. VIX under 18, bullish on the market. VIX over 18, bearish. VIX can reject 1850, then we can be bullish. So plan was ready for everyone, and we followed the plan. We followed the plan when risk, look where VIX rejected, right 1854, the highs of 1854, right? So the highs of 1854, and then it faded from there, then it faded 18 level, and then it came all the way back down, and that's how you played the reversal and with the 10 a.m. So and with the 10 a.m. concept. So we'll talk about that. So VMW, very first trade, was on high watch list versus the pre-market lows. Need to be cautious though, because you can't just, unless and until you see like a conviction to go long, you have to be open biased, right? So you will see me, before I took a position, I waited for confirmation that it is not breaking down. It is not breaking down under the pre-market low. So that was what I was watching. So as you see, I took, before I commented, after 7 minutes I said scalp long versus pre-market low. Nice push, VMW log some, and then VMW went to 169, almost $8 it moved since I talked about it, or if I had a planning about it. You can see here how it turned 512 EMA clouds green, then it turned 34.50 and hit 168. And you can see my guidance here, almost $8 bounce from pre-market plan. I even told people to log the 50% retracement at 168. You see 50% retracement, and then finally end of the day I closed everything. So this was the most profitable play of the day. VMW was the highlight play of the day for me personally. So that's what we did on there. So let's look at some other plays that we did today. Okay. So Meta, I initially took a short when it was right at open after 5 minutes, when I was expecting market to break. QQQ was breaking, right? So QQQ was breaking this level. So that's what I expected. I expected a short because QQQ was breaking that 10-minute pre-market level. So I took Meta short. But when then QQQ bounced, and you can see Meta's candle 1, 2, 3. It was not making a lower low, man. It was making a lower high. Look at these. Lower high. So that was your warning to get out of the short. And look at it. I said get out of short at 9.55 right here. After that, Meta went almost $6, right? And we long QQQ, or sorry, I long Nvidia. So it doesn't matter because the bounce on the market. And remember the concept. There were two concepts today. Nobody else teaches you. Nobody else on Twitter, YouTube ever teaches you these two concepts that I teach. 10 a.m. reversal and the VIX strategy. Look at the time, 10 a.m., 10 a.m., right? So you see, and VIX rejected 10 a.m. and then the whole market bounced, right? So anyway, so that was the meta, guys. So that was meta. And now let's talk about Nvidia. Let's see. So Nvidia, guys. Okay, so I want you guys to see carefully here. So now talking about Nvidia, guys. So as you know, bearish trend, breaking pre-market lows, QQQ heavy. So I was saying on the audio, on the voice, that Nvidia is heavy. Nvidia is heavy. You know, I was giving my targets. So I even said, like, after 10 minutes, I said, hold your shorts on Nvidia. You can see here. Let me show you. So. So yeah, here you go. So I said short, hold them. I was short QQQ, right? If you want to look at Nvidia chart, I was short QQQ, and you can see here. So I was short QQQ, and at the same time Nvidia was going. And then I was saying hold them. I said hold them, and it was still fading. Then I gave 425 my next target. And where did it bounce from? 424.80. And then it formed a hammer candle. And I right away said it's a hammer candle, it's a reversal candle that is being formed. So buyers are coming in. And at the same time, the VIX was rejecting 1850. And the market was bouncing out from the support. QQQ was bouncing. And then the flow came in. What did I say? 435 calls worth 300k. The flow came in, and we used the flow gave us conviction. This week's flow, if you want to see it, I'll zoom it. This week's flow, 300,000. You know, look at the flow that was coming in. If somebody else is betting on this flow, buying out of the money on the ask aggressively, so he or she or a big fund is expecting the bounce, so we should follow. So that gave me a confidence to follow this trade, right? Then it was all about holding till our targets, right? So I was giving my target. So my next target was I set the price alerts, right? And you can see there's EMA cloud reversal as well. So those are my price alerts. We hit that. I didn't add the bottom, right? So frankly, I didn't add the bottom. I added higher, smaller, because I was adding in the bearish trend, but a flow gave me a conviction. And you see, then it was just about our targets. 440 my first target, then my 442 was my final target, and then I took most off at 442, but then it was still strong. Then I said next target 445 area, and after that, of course, 3450. And when it gets to 3450, right, that's what I said, met our 445 target, but we want to see over 3450. Then I said, there was a typo, then I said a lot of resistance on 3450 EMA, and look here, lot of resistance 3450 EMA, and then it faded back. I didn't take that short trade, but that was what it was, right? So that was Nvidia, guys. Perfect to the plan. Small sizes, option flow helped, market bounce helped, and we did some bounce on Tesla as well. Initially Tesla was short, and then I was okay. So this was when I got bullish, when it was breaking over 3450. So let me show you Tesla, this breakout over 3450. Then I gave my target of 253, 254. If it holds that, you know, just for a scalp for me. And then Vin came in, he was risking 251 on this ads, he was risking 251, and then it hit 253. Then my target was 254, where I took all off, and then it actually crossed that 254 target as well, because it was riding the trend. And you know, so that's how we played it. So that was Tesla, you know, push into 257s. I logged mostly everything early, but there was a little bit left, so you let it ride. So that was Tesla trade, guys, after the flag break. So Tesla trade was, guys, after the flag break. This flag break, this price alert, what was this? Getting over EMA clouds and flag break. And also, if you look at Tesla daily, what it was doing, it was going red to green. Okay, let me show you, right? So Tesla daily was going red to green. It went red to green at 250 and then it pushed to 254, right? So that was the plan on Tesla, guys. That was the reasoning behind the Tesla long. So 250 was the key on Tesla. So that was Tesla. Now let's look at our next trade. We already talked about Meta. All right, guys, Dollar Tree and Dollar General. There was nothing. It was basically a good plan on Dollar Tree and Dollar General. And I saw Dollar General bouncing. I said risk versus 4114, and it pushed to 118 actually, right? And DLTR you can see as well. DLTR. So DLTR again was strong. I just told that room is still 115, and then it did hit our 115 target, right? So not many traded it because other trades were working good. I didn't trade it fully. I just scalped some. But I'm just happy that we had something on the watch list. We had a plan for the dollar stocks, right? The dollar trees, the dollar stores. We had a plan. You saw my watch list up here, up on the top. You saw that watch list right here. So you saw that, okay, here. Clearly said dollar stores upgrades, Dollar Tree, Dollar General. Pre-market was on the watch list, and rest you see what happened, right? So that's why pre-market prep matters, guys. Pre-market prep is very important. Okay, so that is good. Okay, let's look at some other random trades we did. There was a news on NKTX. It was just scalp on a penny trade. I have my price alert set, and I've even discussed you can see there was a price alert at 230 and the break, and then it pushed to $4, right? And everybody was trading NKTX in our on the floor as well. And then, guys, there was WH. WH was on watch list because Wyndham Resorts were being bought by who was the other company? What was the name? Let's look at it. So let's quickly look at it. Yeah, Choice Hotels were buying them. But then I didn't trade all day. But when the company came out, they said we are no longer buying it. And then that's when WH was a short. So I talked about it. Let's see if I can find you guys. WH. Oh, okay, hold on. So let's see if we can find it. So yeah, here you go. So I was shorting WH, right? Because they took the buyout offer back. It should come back. And it was like a decent scalp from 75 area to 73. Nothing much. The option moved a little bit. So made a little bit there. So that was that. And then there was this USB. So USB was another kind of scalp. It was nothing special. These are all C minus setups, guys. No way I'm telling you guys to do this setup. If you are a new trader, you should stay away. But there was a news. It was extended. News was okay, and I felt little extension. I scalped a little bit. Nothing special about that. So that was that, guys. But AZN was a bounce play. Again, a C minus bounce play. It fell off a lot. It dipped, but there was no news, right? So when there's no news, there's nothing. It's a lot of big sell-off, huge volume sell-off, and that sell-off from 71 to 66. And I was watching this 67 level. So that is what I was watching. The moment the 10-minute candle moved over, I took a position for a scalp into 34.50. C minus setup, right? I said keep an eye. I don't know why the big drop. So these are some random trades. You can see my price alert here coming in. Not, these are not like specialized trade which will make your trading career successful, because these are just um, no system dependent kind of trades where you only risk how much you can afford to risk, and you should not risk crazy on such place. Just but still wanted to show that. So what was it, guys? Before I go, I want to show something on SPY. I missed the midday short from 438, and you're going to ask, hey Rip, you never short uptrends, then why are you saying that? This is what I am saying. This SPY just few cents short of that gap fill. So if I knew that gap fill is what is rejecting, I could have risked this, right? It's all about finding your risk. I could have risked this to short it back, right? So you can see it rejected. Usually gap, remember guys, important tip, gap fills, support resist, gap fill highs and lows act as a support and resistance. So I could have shorted and covered it later when it was dropped to 34.50. So you see guys how whole day we know this morning 10 a.m. trade, then we do the reversal trade, and then we can even do the shorts trade, right? It's all about going closer to the risk, right? Even in the midday, if you see the flag breakout I talked about, look at this SPY breaking flag. Where did I say that? 435.70. SPY went to 438, right? Midday breakouts. So, I mean, I can't be more clear or more ideas than that, guys. You can't get any more ideas in any other community, more guidance. I'm proud of what we are doing. Come join us, trade with us, lot of value. Don't come for the alerts, come from the guidance, come from education, come for a good trading family. I'll see you all there. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Bye.